Michael Roach's book, Karmic Management, teaches how to apply Buddhist principles to achieve success through conscious actions, generosity, and helping others, creating positive karmic imprints. It's worth reading to master the 8 rules of karmic management, which help solve problems, find business partners, and create prosperity in business and personal life. The book offers practical tools based on the principle of what you sow, so shall you reap, for building a harmonious life. Michael Roach, the first Westerner with the Geshe title, wrote the book after the success of the diamond cutter, inspired by his experience of building a diamond company from scratch. The book has been translated into over 20 languages, sold over 1 million copies worldwide, and is a top-ranked business and spiritual book on Amazon and Leaders. Chapter 1. Stop doing what doesn't work. Success in business and life begins with letting go of ineffective actions that don't yield results. Identify which actions, such as an excessive pursuit of profit, aren't working, and replace them with more conscious ones. Practice the efficiency analysis method, recording your daily actions and evaluating their results after a week. Focus on actions that benefit both you and others. Notice how this frees up energy for success. At the end of the day, write down what you did and highlight what didn't produce results. For example, cancel unnecessary meetings to free up time. Replace them with helping a colleague. This increases productivity. For example, stop spending hours on useless calls and notice an increase in efficiency. Or stop arguing and observe an improvement in relationships. Letting go is freedom. This chapter teaches you to focus on what works. Chapter 2. Find the root of the roots. Success in business and life requires understanding the root causes of problems, which lie in your own actions and thoughts. Identify the source of failures by analyzing your past behaviors, such as greed or inattention to others. Practice the root cause analysis method, documenting the problem and its potential causes, then correcting them through kind deeds. Focus on creating positive imprints to change outcomes. Notice how this opens new paths. Write down a problem, for example, a conflict with a colleague, and consider what actions of yours might have caused it. For instance, correct the cause by offering help instead of arguing. Act with the intention of being helpful. This changes the outcome of events. For example, analyze a failed deal and notice how letting go of selfishness improved relationships. Or help a colleague and observe how this resolved the conflict. The cause is the key. This chapter teaches you to find and change the root of problems. Chapter 3. Identify your karmic business partners. Success in business and life depends on connections with people who share your values and support your goals. Choose partners whose intentions align with yours. For example, those who strive for honest cooperation. Practice the karmic selection method, analyzing which relationships amplify your progress and strengthen them with good deeds. Focus on creating mutual benefit in every interaction. Notice how this improves your results. Assess whether a colleague supports your goals and strengthen the connection through help. For example, assist a partner with a project to lay the groundwork for trust. Collaborate with those who share your honesty. This creates strong relationships. For example, work with a colleague who values openness and notice increased efficiency. Or help a partner and observe how this strengthened your team. Partners are strength. This chapter teaches you to choose allies for success. Chapter 4. Start with yourself. Success begins with changing your own thoughts and actions to create positive karmic imprints. Focus on inner work, replacing negative habits such as irritation with kindness. Practice the inner cleansing method, daily writing down one negative habit and replacing it with a positive action, such as helping someone else. Act with the intention of being helpful to lay the foundation for prosperity. Notice how this improves your life. Write down a habit, for example, judging, and replace it with a compliment to a colleague. For example, help a friend instead of complaining. Focus on good intentions. This creates a positive cycle. For example, replace criticism with praise at work and notice an improved atmosphere. Or help a neighbor and observe a surge of satisfaction. Change is the beginning. This chapter teaches you to change yourself for success. Chapter 5. Stop making decisions. Decisions based on fleeting emotions or selfishness often lead to failure, while a karmic approach suggests acting with good intentions. Avoid impulsive decisions. Instead, consider how your actions will affect others. Practice the karmic pause method, stopping for 5 minutes before an important choice to visualize its long-term consequences. Focus on actions that benefit all parties. Notice how this improves results. Before making a choice, for example, signing a contract, think about its impact on others. For instance, visualize how your decision will help the team. Pause to assess the consequences. This leads to better outcomes. For example, pause before responding in an argument and notice how it reduced tension. Or ponder a deal from the perspective of benefiting everyone and observe increased trust. A pause is wisdom. This chapter teaches you to make conscious decisions. Chapter 6, load your stapler. Success in business and life requires continuously creating positive karmic imprints through small but regular good deeds. Perform small acts of generosity. For example, helping a colleague with a minor task to lay the groundwork for significant results. Practice the daily seeds method, performing one good deed every day and visualizing how it returns as success. Focus on consistency, not the scale of actions. Notice how this gradually improves your reality. Do one good deed a day, for example. Offer a colleague a solution. For instance, visualize how your help returns in the form of new opportunities. Repeat this daily. This creates a sustainable cycle. For example, help a friend with advice and notice how it strengthened trust. Or do a small favor at work and observe increased support. Small is mighty. This chapter teaches that small deeds create success. Chapter 7. Ride your problems to new heights. Problems are not obstacles, but opportunities for growth, if used to create positive karmic imprints. View difficulties, such as a project failure, as a chance for learning and new actions. Practice the problem transformation method, analyzing the complexity, finding its root, and performing a good deed to change the outcome. Direct energy to helping others in similar situations. Notice how this turns failures into success. Analyze a problem, for example, a conflict at work, and find its cause, for instance, a misunderstanding. For example, help a colleague in a similar situation to create a positive imprint. Take a step towards a solution based on kindness. This opens new opportunities. For example, analyze a failed deal, help a partner, and notice increased trust. Or resolve a conflict through support and observe improved relationships. Problems are a springboard. This chapter teaches you to turn difficulties into success. Chapter 8, reinvest karma. Sustainable prosperity is achieved through continuously reinvesting positive karmic imprints, amplifying them through good deeds. Perform regular acts of generosity, for example, sharing knowledge with colleagues, to strengthen the cycle of success. Practice the karmic cycle method, performing one good deed daily and visualizing how its energy returns in the form of new opportunities. Focus on long-term benefits for everyone. Notice how this multiplies your achievements. Do a good deed, for example, help a newcomer at work. For instance, visualize how your generosity returns in the form of career growth. Repeat this every day. This creates a compounding effect. For example, share advice with a colleague and notice how it strengthened your reputation. Or help a friend and observe a surge of new opportunities. The cycle is growth. This chapter teaches you to multiply success through goodness. This is such a wonderful book. I wrote down all the important points from this book, all the techniques and tools, and also made a step-by-step action plan based on the book. You can get all this in my private club, Place of Power. There, you will find a ready-made, detailed text analysis with similar lists for hundreds of best-selling self-help books. Also, only there can you get an exclusive analysis of the newest best-selling books that are currently at the top of Amazon's sales charts. Join via the link in the description and enjoy.